It's that magical time of year when you're fat, drunk, and broke. Hell of a time to talk about resolutions. Resolutions are, by and large, all lies. Sure, they're well-intentioned nuggets that you will cruelly abandon, and they'll land in the orphanage of end-of-year promises past, where all your good dreams go to die. But this year, in addition to the typical go to the gym more nonsense, we should use our collective goodwill to manifest a better reality from our leaders, starting with our zombie-in-chief president, who is living in a dream world that's causing a national nightmare. Little kitty steps. I'm so happy he didn't fall up them. Good job, buddy. The president, first lady, and their team of propagandists reportedly held an urgent West Wing meeting to address sagging poll numbers, which had the president's approval rating a dismal 37%, according to the Wall Street Journal, and even lower, musty basement number of 34% from Monmouth. And this is not an outlier. This is reality. Biden and the Dems go out and chirp about Bidenomics, incredible economic news, inflation dropping, and wages going up. If this were the case, then why do only 14% of Americans believe Biden's economic policies have helped them? 61% of Democrats, 93% of Republicans, and a whopping 85% of those critical independents think the economy is in bad shape, because for them, it is. That's the great Dow. Yes, it may be higher than Hunter at a crack symposium, but that doesn't fill your gas tank when you don't have any money in the market. When the president was asked about Bidenomics, he said this.
About the economy, sir, what's your outlook on the economy next year?
All good. Take a look. Start reporting it the right way.
When you can't afford food and rent, it's not all good. The president needs to resolve to stop lying. If he were Pinocchio, his nose would be longer than Corinne Jean-Pierre's list of excuses about her boss's involvement in Hunter's foreign investor scams. The only way the president is going to make people feel better about the economy is if he's honest about the pain they're still feeling over the price of rent, eggs, and cars. He's just hoping the sweet release of death takes him away from the constant bad news about the economy, Gaza, Russia, China, immigration, and his dumb son, and, of course, his hack vice president. So what else can make things better in 2024? If we can avoid a world war, it might be nice to get to the gym more. Last year at this time, more people told Forbes they were most concerned about improving their mental health. This year, the booty is the duty, and people have given up on their brains. They've realized going to the gym and firming up that sweet keister is also good for the mentals. Becoming a gym rat is the top resolution this year. Losing weight is up there, and it's easier to achieve than ever thanks to drugs you can take that make you not want to shove chocolate croissants in your head hole every 45 seconds. And of course, that goes hand in hand with the resolution of wanting to improve your diet and your finances. I know, stop eating so much caviar. 2 problems solved. Now, NPR had a quick list of things to add to your resolution list to beef it up if it's thinner than your keister. You can start a side hustle, get healthier without going to the gym, freeze your eggs, have a baby. I wonder what our favorite shirtless billionaires have to say about that. No, not Martha Stewart and Kylie Jenner, you pervert. Talking about Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos. Mr. Amazon has become a sinewy hunk of rippling man muscle, and he and Musk both want people to have as many babies as possible. Jazzy Jeff says if we have 1 trillion humans peopling the solar system at any given time, we'll have 1,000 Mozarts and 1,000 Einsteins.
I would love to see, a trillion humans living in the solar system. If we had 1 trillion humans, we would have at any given time 1,000 Mozarts and 1,000 Einsteins. that would our solar system would be full of life and intelligence and energy.
I love that he has such a nerdy voice, but such great biceps. Well, Mr. Bezos, math is a tricky mistress. So that means with 1,000 Mozarts and Einsteins, we'd have 50,000 Hitlers and 1 million Brian Kobergers. I think I'll stick to this planet and the stinky dingbats and occasional geniuses we churn out here. Elon Musk wants more people to have babies because he just likes getting women pregnant the hard way with some smooth lines and an NDA. Now, things haven't been so smooth in the Tesla factory. Well, we're learning a couple of years ago, one man was clawed and bloodied by an out-of-control robot. No wonder Musk wants to curb AI. He doesn't want to pay those exorbitant workers' comp claims. There was one study that showed how younger people can slow down the onset of dementia, which could be great news. So here's what you have to do. Don't be poor, lonely, or be a booze bag, and your memory should stay pristine. Lower income earners who live alone and who chronically hit the Jägermeister are a lot more likely to develop dementia-like symptoms before the age of 65. But on the flip side, there's always good news. If you start drinking heavily by yourself, you'll forget what you were worried about in the first place.
We're going streaking through the quad and into the gymnasium. Come on, everybody!
Bring your green hat! Every broken resolution has a silver lining somewhere. Now, if you are resolved to get financially pierced in the hindquarters by Cupid's arrow, maybe forego the typical meat markets and dating apps. If you lose Bumble, you're more likely to stumble into your next great love at the most unusual of hubs, the airport. This is real. For some reason, flying anxiety closely resembles arousal. So next time you fly, if you're looking for a guy, try not to look like a San Francisco hobo who's about to poop on the sidewalk. Throw on some lipstick and some sexy accessories. And the next accessory you might be taken off with is a ring, girl. The airport crush is a real phenomenon. If you find yourself delayed, turn it into an opportunity to make sexy eye contact with a cute solo traveler.
There's no such thing as a perfect.
I'll have what she's having. But remember, don't stare too intently. You'll look like a psycho, and you'll end up getting carted away by TSA. From hot airport meetings to frozen eggs, that was a more realistic set of resolutions that you may or may not stick to. But if you're still sweating on a treadmill in February, high-five yourself for your stick-to-itiveness. You've gone with more staying power than 94% of anyone else, making lists of things they'll probably never accomplish. Maybe we can all resolve to get a new president. How about that? And then keep getting rad and relax a little bit. Maybe 2024 will lead us to some phenomenal places that exceed our dreams and get us out of this current political nightmare.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.